Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for a weekend live stream. Today is Saturday, May 8th, 2021. How are you guys doing today? I'm having a nice day. I wasn't sure whether to go with afternoon coffee or an early beer today. I was going back and forth, but ultimately, afternoon coffee won because there's more time for beer later. Coffee later would be kind of weird. Maybe. Would it? I'm not sure. But I gotta say, everyone in this house is a little bit tired. I got like a stray hair. My wife took a nap on the couch today, which is very uncharacteristic for her. My older daughter took a nap today, like on accident. I think she was like watching her iPad and stuff, and then she ended up falling asleep. I ended up falling asleep, which is not common, but not uncommon either. The baby, of course, just like doing her own thing and hanging out. But yeah, it's kind of a quiet day. It's a nice day here in Chicago, but it's a little bit on the chilly side. So really great napping weather, I gotta say. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing out there listening on the podcast and the audio only version? Hopefully you guys are having a good run right now. And everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, hopefully you're enjoying your weekend right now as you're watching this. All right, let's say hi to some people that are in here in the chat today. We have some people that got here real early. Kiefer came in at like 1 o'clock. He's a local legend extraordinaire. CV76 came in. I think you guys were here for the 1 o'clock time, but it was not 1 o'clock time. All right, we got not too many. Philip says, yo, what's going on? 12K with Laura in the afternoon. Nice. Second half slightly faster than the 4 minutes 52 per K goal pace for tomorrow's Wings for Life, which should bring him right up to 30K. Nice work. That's a nice distance run with a dog. Ina says, hi, Kofuzi and everybody. A 9.5 mile long run along the river with Pip this afternoon. Quite wet, but who cares once you get going? That's awesome. Very cool. And Yana says, hi, everyone. Did a 4K shakeout run in the morning, surprisingly, after a while, before tomorrow's Wings for Life, and she says she should stretch now, but I'm too lazy to get out of bed. A really good reason. Yeah, my legs are sore. It's been high mileage. I've been starting to do some of those other leg exercises for getting some strength. And so my body feels a little bit beat up, I got to tell you. But I'm just like constantly, I'm like, I don't feel like stretching. I don't feel like foam rolling. I don't feel like getting the massage gun. I'm just tired. I've been real tired lately. And here's the other thing. So we got the kids new scooters for Easter. And they've gotten really good at them. And so now they want to, like, we've been finding places that we can go. I mean, sometimes you go on the lakefront, but the lakefront, there's just a lot of traffic during the day, like other foot traffic, lots of runners, bicycles and stuff. So like we found like right around the lake, there's a little pond in Lincoln Park, and we've been going around that. And it's nice. There's not too many people. The only main thing we have to worry about are geese. Some of the geese have had some chicks. Is that what you call baby geese? So we have to watch for geese crossings, and the geese are territorial because they got babies. But they've been going really fast. And so to keep up with them, I've been having to run. So like every day I've been attacking. I guess I should measure it. Maybe I can measure it today because they want to go after the live stream today. But I've been tacking on every single day, like another couple miles. So I'm just so tired. I've been running unintentional doubles all week. But it's more kind of like, it's more not fartlecky, but it's stop and go. It's because they'll like, want to take off and just go real fast for a little while, but they're young, so they're not interested in an even pace around the pond. And so it's like sometimes I feel like I'm really hustling, and then I catch my breath for a second, and then they're off again. So I'm just really, really tired. David Prabo says, happy weekend all. What's going on, David? Good to see you. And Roberta Villa says, hey, Kofuzi fam, haven't been able to catch a live stream with the new start time, but been watching the recording later. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're still able to tune in and catch it a little bit later. And I'm glad that at least the 3 o'clock time on the weekend still is working for you, Roberto. Awesome. Good to see you again. All right. Frank's in the weight tank after getting that second Pfizer dose. Awesome. Very nice. Oh yeah, we gotta get a vaccine bell for you. Good job, Frank. So I don't know why I didn't anticipate it, but so I made the video about like I was so excited to get the vaccine that I made a video about it. Not with any, there's no like agenda. I wasn't trying to help promote the vaccine. I was just super excited to get it myself. And then I was like, well, got in all fairness, I can't just show like how excited I am about the vaccine if it knocked me on my butt for a day and a half. So I should talk about that too. And that video is getting that has a lot of legs. I don't know how many views it's been getting, but it's been getting a lot of comments. Most of them of the variety that I don't really like responding to. So it's been interesting. It's tiresome. It's really tiresome. It's adding to my fatigue for the week. But yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, the people that are commenting on that, like, what? How is this popping up in their feeds? I'm not. Are they rage watching? I think there must be rage watching, right? Are they even watching at all? Or they just see the thumbnail, they click in, type something, and then they leave? Is that what? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's exhausting. So I gotta say that it has been to the point where I haven't been really enjoying like interacting in YouTube comments like as much lately, because I know like once I start doing the way that I do it, I do it on my phone usually, and I use YouTube, the Creator Studio, and it just shows me a list of all like the comments that I haven't responded to in like reverse chronological order. And so like, like to find the ones that I do want to respond to, there you have to like scroll by the other ones, and it just gets tiresome. Yeah. But I can get over it. I can get over it. All right. Will Willing says, great easy hour run last night. Average heart rate only 122. Lowest average heart rate since I've been monitoring heart rate. Awesome. That's great. That's great. I had a run where I think I was trying to, what? Oh, the other day, remember I was telling you I had to walk 2 miles in the rain the other day because I had to poop. That day was going to be a really easy run. Because I was, again, really tired. And I was like, oh, because I was just like, I wasn't paying attention to the watch. I was just running however my body felt like running. And I was looking at it, and I kept looking at it a couple of times, and I was like, oh, I think most of this run I've been in the 120s. I'm going to try to have a 120s heart rate run today. And then I had to poop. And then the heart rate creeps up and up and up. And then I cut the run short. And I think the run ended up being like 130 beats per minute. So, yeah. One day. Yeah, Salam Hafez says, please not electric scooter. No, they don't have electric scooters. They They got the regular kick kind. They have the micro brand scooters. They're a lot of fun. The baby has ones with lights in the wheels, which are nice, which I think matches the bike. Her bike has lights in her training wheels. So the things she has have light up stuff. Rivali says, Rivali says, where my Sunday long runners at? Cutting it to 10 mile tomorrow, ready for 15 next week. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a Sunday long run tomorrow. I normally like to do Saturday long runs. I'm doing Sunday because today I ended up running with my running buddy. He's 2 weeks fully vaccinated, right? Like 2 weeks post his second shot today. And so we got together for a run this morning. I gave him a real big hug. I've seen him a couple times. Well, I guess I saw him once in person, and we've done Zoom calls and stuff. But the other time I saw him, I went to his house. He has a fire pit out back, and we sat outside and drank beers in like 40, maybe like 35-degree weather. It was really, really cold. We actually ran together today, so that was super nice. Beautiful weather for it. Like 10 miles never went by so quick or so easy. It was amazing. So we did that today, and so I'll do my long run tomorrow. He's been running, but not. I'm trying to put in a 20 miler this week. I didn't think he was in 20 mile readiness. I don't think he is, but he's the one guy that I'm gonna be running the Chicago Marathon with. So we talked about that quite a bit today, or I guess a little bit, not a ton, but yeah. All right. Apparently it is Lee Joyce Chung's dog's birthday today. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Happy birthday to the dog. Let's get a dog. I guess it's a dog bell. Happy birthday to the dog. Remy's here. He says, gives a wave and says, in from a windy 4-hour ride, 100K done. Now cooking with Co. That's a lot. I've been watching a lot of bicycle footage, not only Remy's. I like Remy's bicycle footage. And here it is. Lee Joyce Chung says, it's the dog's 17th birthday? Whoa. I thought my dog was old. And my dog is old. My dog was born on the opening ceremonies of the Beijing Olympics. It's easy to remember because it's 888. But so he'll be 13 in a couple months, which makes him about 3 years older than I thought he was going to make it. But he's still here and just as big a jerk as ever. He's taking a nap right now. But yeah, so I've been watching a lot of bicycle footage lately. The other reason I've been watching a lot of bicycle footage is that so I've been trying to do some more reconnaissance of this 50K race that I'm doing, the Crater Trail 50K in Decorah, Iowa. And so I've been just looking up Decorah, Iowa, and there's a lot of the trails that are out there. There's a lot of mountain bikers that go up there, and they've been strapping GoPros on their chests and just documenting the ride. There's no like commentary. It's just, I mean, it's edited to some extent, but it's just like footage of a dude's GoPro. And you can hear him sometimes being like, oh, this is a steep hill, you know, or being like, oh, it's too tight. I can't make that turn, you know, stuff like that. So it's pretty funny and interesting to watch. But I think that, and I put a link to one of the videos that I've been watching. I put a link to it in the description for today's live stream. So if you look at the description, it should be in there. If you don't see it, you might have to refresh. But yeah, so I put that in there to get a sense of like, what am I really getting into? And I have a feeling it's pretty much going to be exactly like the New Wine Park that I go run at near my in-laws' house, where it's just like constantly up or constantly down. The up is too much up to really get a rhythm. It's just going to be huffing and puffing the entire time. And the down is going to be too much of a down to try to run fast. You're really just kind of braking so you don't fall down the mountain or down the hill, you know? So that's going to be interesting. But it looked like there's some rollers, some nice areas. It looked like it was beautiful terrain. So I'm looking forward to it. But I'm like, oh, this 10 minute per mile average might be a little bit. That's what I was thinking I would do. Might be a little bit ambitious. I'm thinking it might be more like 11 and a half minutes per mile, at least on some of the trickier parts. I mean, not on just the tricky parts, but like there's a couple of areas where I think it flattens out a little bit. There I might be able to pick up some ground, but I think for the most part, I'm going to be like, you know, 8-minute miles, 7-minute miles on the downhills, but like 11, 12 minutes on the uphill. So we'll see how it goes. Stevie says, I want to ride my bicycle. Awesome. Shannon says, it was so awesome seeing you get a run in with a friend. Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice. Yeah, I didn't film much at all. I mean, I usually don't when I'm with them. And because we're usually just chatting, you know. And so, yeah, it was good. It was real good. I think I have like 30 seconds of footage from the entire 10 miles just because we were having a good time. Yeah, I like it. So I think that we're probably I mean, we'll be doing, you know, we're going to run Chicago together. So we'll be doing all the same workouts. So I think we'll probably get to see each other a lot more, you know, as Chicago approaches. And then, I don't know, you know, we got to figure out what his summer running is going to be like. He wants me to help him put together a little training program for it. But I'm like, don't worry about it for now. Just go out there and run a bunch and have fun. So we'll see how much we can get together for running over the summer. But he usually spends a lot of time. His mom has a lake house up in Wisconsin. He usually takes his boys up there. He used to spend all his summers up there growing up. And so he's usually up there. And so we'll see and we'll probably be in Iowa for a lot of the summer. So we'll see. But it was good to see him. And, you know, until school is out, he'll still be here. Excuse me. Big sneeze. All right. Shannon says, hey, Co and Co, regarding the Ultra Torn 5s, don't get them. Oh, the plush is replacing the regular Torrens and the Rivera is the new Torren. Okay. The fit of the Rivera is not comfy. I've switched to Topo as a result. This is earth-shattering news. I feel like this is a news break. Wow. I mean, what? Which Topo are you running in? That's what, because I've been interested in trying out a Topo, because you know I see Coach Sandy running in it. So Sandy Nypaver in the Topo. I think she's the only person that I know that runs in Topo. But not that I know her, but like that I know of. But I'm interested in Topo. So no more Torren. and then Rivera, but the Rivera's not good. Okay. All right, that's fine. That makes it easier for me because I wasn't sure which of those to get anyway. Thank you guys for when I sneezed, like I was saying. God bless you. That's nice. Salam Hafez says, "I miss hugging people." Yeah, I get. I saw him, and we didn't like discuss it beforehand, but I was like, I saw him and I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" I didn't say it that way. I forget what I said. I might have said, "Yo, what's going on?" unintentionally, but I was like, "Bring it in. Are you ready for this?" I was like, "Are you comfortable with a hug?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bring it in." Then I gave him an extra long hug. It was good to get a hug. Fantafos Dopke says that the Torrent 5 will get the Ego foam instead of Quantic, correct? Oh, yeah. See, so, but then how is it that, I guess it's just a road Lone Peak then, I guess? But, I didn't like the Torrent with Ego, with Quantic foam. Maybe I would like it with Ego. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait and let that sort itself out a little bit. And Shannon says she got insider info from Big River manager who has direct contact with Ultra and is also a big Ultra fan. Oh, is he disappointed? Or she? Will Willing says, I've been riding 2 days a week. Seems to help a lot with recovery. My legs feel much better. Couldn't handle running 6 days a week. Yeah. I don't know. I was watching the videos in Decorah and I was like, I don't know if I had that, because it looked like the lines were really long and he could get just really like nice stretches of like rolling uphill and downhill, little bursts of uphill that you'd have to do. And then like exhilarating downhills here and there, but nothing was ever like exceptionally long, at least from a bike's perspective. I'm like, I don't know if if I lived up in that area or had better access to that area, I might do a little of both. I do enjoy the bicycling, but like road bicycling, I would say is boring. I've never ridden in a group though. I think that like, I don't know what my conception of like road cycling, I have like a couple of in my mind's eye what that's like. One is in New Jersey where my parents live, there's a highway that's right on the other side between New Jersey and New York. It's called 9W. And the W doesn't stand for west for some reason. There's a 9W north and a 9W south. But it has a really giant shoulder. And so cyclists often will like ride up and down it because it's like just uninterrupted road for miles in each direction. So it's pretty cool. So I've seen that, and I've always just thought that was weird because like the groups run thick, and it's just like a little mini peloton, like riding down the street, and you always got to be careful when you're driving on that road. The other like conception I have of like group rides is like watching like Lucy Charles Barkley's channel when they go on rides, and it's like it's super intense, and then they stop for brunch, and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. I need like. I don't have time for that really, but like I do love the idea of an activity where it's basically like a pub crawl, but for breakfast. That's what I want. So I don't know. I think that needs to be a thing, but we'll see. Remy says, I'm going to overdraft on hugs as more of my friends get vaxxed. I'm totally with you, Remy, though. Early on, basically like a year ago from now, I was like, I'm never going to shake anyone's hand again. And I'm going to be completely fine with that. I'm like never going to touch people again. I'm totally ready to go down like the, Demolition Man, like route where people like don't touch each other anymore. I'm completely ready for that. Like fast forward 1 year and I'm like, who's ready for hugs? You ready for hugs? I'm ready for hugs. I want hugs, so I'm not much of a hug person. My wife's family definitely is. And so maybe they've worn me down over the years, but like, I'm ready for hugs for my people. That's what I'm ready for. Matthew Stuver says, I was disappointed with the Torrent 5 news. Don't know what to do for a 0-drop replacement. Yeah, I guess if the Rivera is not doing it for you, Matthew, yeah, we'll see what the Escalante is going to do. And for trail, I like the Superior and the Lone Peak. I mean, I know those aren't super trail-ish shoes, but this quote-unquote trail runner, the road runner that sometimes gets on grass, likes those shoes. So, yeah. Runner Dre says, I'm relaxing on the couch after my run this morning. Hope you're having a good weekend. Yeah, what's going on? Awesome. All right, Remy says, go for a co. I have a bike for you when you come for Falmouth. All right. Yeah, we could do that. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, I hope those races all go. I'm ready to book some flights. I'm still nervous about flying in a plane, but I mean, hopefully by August I'll be over that. But yeah, yeah, I want to do Falmouth. I hear it's challenging, but I just think it'll be fun to do some of these like historic races. You know, I don't know. Ken Fast says, I drive an MW all the time, and the bikers don't seem to pay attention to the cars driving at 55, and there are two across in the road. Yeah. The cyclists are fearless. And my parents don't love them. They make them nervous. They don't have I know some people are like hostile towards cyclists, but my parents are always very nervous when they see them. yeah. Ken knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, Scott says, I ate 2 bananas today and thought that is 2 more than Co probably eats in a month. Weird thought at mile 4. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. A month, I might get 1 banana a month on it. Usually what happens is sometimes the kids will want a banana, and sometimes you have to ask them every time, do they want to eat just the banana? Would they like me to peel the banana or just hand it to them? Or would they like the banana sliced up into little coins? If they ever want it sliced up into coins, they usually don't eat the whole thing. And so I'm like, I like the rest of this. So that's usually when I eat a banana. Sometimes after a real long run, I'll come back and I'll be starving, and I'll just be like, oh, banana. There's one, and I'll eat it. So that happens every once in a while. You know what I did notice? That Brooks just released the Launch 8 in a banana theme. I'm actually really interested in it. Even though I don't like bananas, I like what they did with that one. It looks nice. Drew Reed says, went out in the New Balance Fuel Cell RC Elite this morning for the second time, and it finally felt good. The tread pattern picked up so much goose poop, though. Oh, man. Yeah, I've never run through goose poop in it, but I can totally see it. Because I remember, I was running with it in kind of late winter. It was picking up a lot of the salt that was out on the path. So all the ice melting salt, it picked up a lot of that. It picked up a lot of just kind of gunk. So yeah, I could totally see it picking up goose poop. That's disgusting. You know what's happened to me a couple times is I forget which shoe it was. Maybe it was for the last Beacon 3 video that I did. Beacon 3 versus the Flow Velocity Wind. I think I stepped in goose poop in that one. And I didn't realize it until I was holding up the shoes for the video. And I was like, whoa, I think that's goose poop. And it's right by my face. So I was like, I usually don't clean off the shoes before the videos, but I was like, I'm not going to deal with this. So I did. Rick Sutter says, hey all, just arrived. I'm entering final grades as I listen. Awesome, Rick. Hopefully it puts you in a good mood, in a generous mood. Yeah. All right. Jagon says, do you have any recommendations for flat feet? I saw your Hyperion Tempo video and really liked it, but I don't know if it would be good for flat feet. I'm also looking at Brooks Adrenaline GTS 21. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know. I could tell you certain shoes aren't great for flat feet, but I don't know which ones are great for flat feet. The Flow Velocity Wind that I just mentioned, that one, it doesn't give me a problem, but I definitely feel it touching my arches. So I feel like that one is a little bit tall. The Nike Zoom X Invincible, that's also very, very tall arch. A lot of the Nike shoes tend to have a little bit taller arches. So I'd probably stay away from those. But I'm not sure. I've not run in the Adrenaline before. I don't think I've ever run in an Adrenaline. I'm trying to think. I don't think so. JC says dodging goose poop helps work those accessory muscles. When we've been running around the little pond in Lincoln Park that I've been telling you guys about, I've been dodging a lot of goose poop there because I said, the geese spend a lot of time in that little pond is like a nature habitat. It's like a sanctuary. So there's no one's allowed in that pond. And so there's lots of ducks and geese and turtles and other lots of wildlife. And so all like the paths that go around the pond are usually covered in goose poop. Not like a blanket, but there's a lot. So you constantly have to dodge it. And like when the girls get ahead of me, sometimes you'll see them like going on the scooter, and then they'll just be like, "Room," and like go around something real fast. It's because there was goose poop. And my older daughter is always astonished. She's like, "I think it's fresh. It's fresh goose poop, guys." So she'll like warn us because we're usually behind her a little bit. So she's like, "Fresh goose poop. Watch out." So she's a courteous like group scooterer, I guess. Rick Sutter says, as far as putting in grades, only heavy drinking while grading puts me in a good mood. Just kidding, he says. Students did well this semester, all things considered. Yeah. Me and my buddy were talking about today because he's been having someone come over to their house to help with the kids during the school day because he still has to work. And so he has a student from one of the local universities, and she's taken like sophomore year off like this last year. And so she's just been, helping his family out as far as like helping with the kids during because his kids go to 2 days a week in person school, and then the other 3 are at home. And so those other 3 days she comes over and helps out. And I was just like, if I were a college student, I mean, I guess you didn't know how long it was going to go, but like taking it like this year off would have been, I think, a great idea. A really good idea. I mean, I don't know what you would have done during that time, but like, I mean, what a miserable time to try and go to school. And David probably says, I wear Asics GTS or Kayanos for flat feet. All right, there we go. We got a recommendation here. Drew Reed says, opposite of flat feet, high arches. My girlfriend has extremely high arches and swears this is preventing her from running. Do you know any shoes for this, or is my recommendation of orthotics relevant? I mean, it could be. I mean, the orthotics concern me. I get a little bit nervous about it. And I know like a lot of the running stores are really promoting like the custom insoles and stuff. But I'm not certain if those are the right way to go. Like I have a set of not custom, but like custom insoles. They're not orthotics that I had made at Road Owner Sports. And I only like them in shoes when I don't like the shoe, right? So like if it's a shoe that I would normally like and I put those in there, it's just like, this is making it worse. But if it's a shoe that I'm like, oh, I don't know, this shoe's not working out great for me, and then I put the insole in, and then it's like, oh, okay, I can run in this now. So, I mean, some insoles might help, but I mean, if she thinks it's, it could cause injury, then it might be something that she could see like a physical therapist for, or her doctor for. So, I mean, that's kind of where I would look into it. But I mean, if you're looking for higher arches, some of those other shoes that I mentioned have high arches. So that may help. Danielle Emberley, what's going on, Danielle, says, use the new Velocity Nitro shoes this morning. Adequate cushioning for me without feeling overly squishy. Like the rectangular eyelets. Make it easy to use flat laces without twists in the laces. Yeah, you know what? And like it bothers me though when they have the rectangular eyelets and then sometimes the lace twists in there. I'm like, I know it doesn't matter that much, but like I feel like then I have to like untwist them, and then that created another twist further upstream. So now I got to fix that twist. So like it gets to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna not look at it. I'm not gonna not look at it. I'm just gonna tie the shoes and let it go for me. But I'm glad you like that one. I'm trying to think of what shoe I'm going to wear for my long run tomorrow. It's just going to be an easy, I'm trying to do a 20 miler, not going to really push the pace on it, just get out there for time on feet. I did the Velocity Nitro for, I think, an 18 miler or maybe a 16 miler, maybe 15. And that worked out well. I'm like, do I do that one again? Should I get the 880 out? I'm not sure what to run. I'm like, but maybe I'll do the Carbon X2 or maybe the Hyperion Elite 2. But I'm like, that DNA Flash Foam at easy pace for like 2.5, 3 hours. I'm not sure I'm going to like that. So I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Lucas Lilly says, hi, everyone. Co, I heard you say that it might be too old to make 10 miles under an hour, but in your half marathon, you almost did it. I think you could do it, Co. Let's go. I love you all. Did I? No, I don't think so. I don't think I like in the half marathon to run 10 miles in under an hour. It's 6 minutes per mile. And I wasn't close to that. I'm still short by like 30 seconds a mile on that. I think I was closer to like 65. I think if I could get under 65, that would make me really happy. I mean, just this week, I did my long run, had a 10-mile chunk in the middle where I was running not even what I thought was threshold pace. And the 10 miles took 70 minutes. So I'm like, wow, that's progress. Because I think my first time I ran a 10 miler, it was like 80 something minutes. I'm trying to remember. It was a long time ago. But yeah, so I brought that time down quite a bit. And that was part of a much longer run. So like, I don't know what I could do. I don't know what I could do for a 10 mile. One of my favorite races is the Soldier Field 10 mile. It was, it's normally Memorial Day, but I think it's virtual this year. Yeah. So like, I'd love to hop in that race again or any other 10-mile race that's flat and just to see like how I can do. Cause it's longer than a 10K, shorter than a half marathon. And, I like the roundness of that 10-mile number. Plus it's one of like the first races that I was like, oh, racing is fun. So I was like, so there's a lot of connection for me to it. Maybe we'll see. I don't know about, I really don't know about an hour, but I don't know. Maybe I'm selling myself short. Tasmania Ring says Nova Blast 2 for the 20 miler. There you go. That's a good idea. You go do that one. Frank says the Carbon X2, and I'm leaning towards the Carbon X2 for it. But oh, by the way, I did sign up for, I was thinking of maybe making a video about this, but I think I'll just tell you guys now. Because we've been talking about it already anyway. I did sign up for that Chicagoland Marathon. That's in 2 weekends. So I don't know if any of you guys are in the area. I don't think that there's going to be much of a post race. I think there's some post race. I don't think there's going to be post race beers, unfortunately. But yeah, but I'll be going to that one. I think I'm just going to run like easy for the first like 16, and then maybe I'll run at like my goal race pace for the 50K for the last 10. So that's kind of like where I'm thinking I'll do. So I think I'm going to end up in like 8.5 minutes per mile. So like under 4 hours maybe. So because the 50K is just 2 weeks, it's actually 13 days after that. So it's very, really, really close. But I feel like I was probably going to run a 20 miler that weekend anyway. So might as well hop in a race, be around some other people and do that. So I was thinking about using the Carbon X2 for that. So I'm like, well, I'm thinking maybe I'll spread around the love for some of these 20 milers, but I think I'll have 20 milers. I'll have one tomorrow, the week after that. And then the week after that will be the marathon. And then it'll be taper for the 50K. So I have 3 like long runs coming up. So, there's plenty of miles to be run. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm still undecided. All right. X Truth says, just finished a nice 5-mile trail run. Awesome. That sounds fun. I'm kind of missing trails a lot. I really want, maybe because I've been watching all these videos, but I've been missing like some trails. All right. What is this here? Let's see. Jorge. Okay. Hi, Kofuzi. Is the Coros Apex a good watch for running? I've read that current pace is not accurate. Thanks. I didn't have any issues with the pace being inaccurate. I think that for all GPS watches, I think that it's going to depend on kind of where you are. So like in a city like running in Chicago, the GPS is not generally accurate for current pace. But I didn't notice anything unusual when I ran with the Apex. And I ran with it both using the watch itself for pace and distance, and also you use my foot pod with it as well, which then the pace comes from the foot pod, not from the watch. So I'm trying to think. I don't remember it being an issue, but I will say that I'm surprised that there hasn't been an Apex update, right? I'm surprised there hasn't been. And what I would look at, Jorge, is whether the Pace 2 can give you what you need, though, because it's a little bit cheaper than the Apex, but it has pretty much all the same features as the Apex. It's a newer watch, so I think that has more of like their recent energies put into it, so to speak. So like that is I would anyone that's looking at the Apex, I would say really look at the Pace 2, and they have like a comparison tool, I believe, on the Apex page, so it could tell you what you're missing between the two watches and see if those apply to you. But like the amount of upgrade from Pace to Pace 2 makes the difference between the Pace and the Apex lines really small. So I would check that out as well. All right. Drew Reed says 20 miler. I think the ASICS Metaspeed Sky could do it if the tongue had more padding. Swear the lacing system and the tongue are the downfall there. Oh, really? See, like I'm really excited to take the Metaspeed Sky out for a longer run, but I'm like, for a long run where I'm just trying to like, I'm going to be listening to podcasts and just like sipping on like what's in the hydration pack and just getting out there and keeping the heart rate nice and low. I feel like the Metaspeed Sky is going to feel like a very strange shoe to wear in that kind of scenario. But I do think that like in these last few weeks, getting ready for that 50K, I'm going to be doing some fartleks and threshold work is where I'm thinking I'm going with that. I think to kind of like get ready for a trail race where it's going to be really hilly. I don't think I need to do like a 20-minute threshold, but I think lots of threshold level efforts with not short rests, but not super long rests either. So I get more of like a work, recover, work, recover, work, recover, I think is going to help simulate at least the stress strain on the system. And so but I think the Metaspeed Sky will be a lot of fun. So we'll see. Eric Durrett said, I'm signed up for that race, Kofuzi. All right, Eric, which race are you signed up for? Let me know. Are you signed up for the Chicagoland? Is that what we're talking about? All right. Let's see. Frank says the difference is that the Apex has maps. Yeah. See, the maps weren't huge for me. It was more of like, what do they call it? Cookie crumb, the trail. Like it just shows you like if you're going like, you have to like, it wasn't like you can just search around for where you are. I feel like if I'm remembering it correctly. It's been a little while. Oh, Eric says the Chicagoland Spring Marathon. Oh, cool. Eric, are you running the marathon or are you running the half? I think the half is sold out for this race. There's still spots remaining for the full marathon. But cool. We'll have to meet up before the race. And if you're running the full, then hopefully we'll see each other afterwards too. Dominic Smirnowski says, hey, any recommendations on an easy recovery issue that does not fall in the max cushion category? I would say, yeah. So what I would look at is the Mach 4, but the Mach 4 does have kind of a tall stack height, but doesn't feel like a max cushion shoe. That's one that I like. Another one that I would look at is like the Pegasus. That's not really a recovery day shoe, but it is just a daily trainer. Let's see, what else would I like? Last year's, I haven't tried the Kinvara 12, but the Kinvara 11 would definitely fall into that category. It's not that tall of a stack height shoe. And I think you could probably use the Boston or the SL20 in that way as well, because they're a little bit lower to the ground and they're pretty good even on easy paces. I'm not sure I want them for like a recovery run, but I have used the SL20 and the Boston for recovery runs too. So definitely doable. And Runner Dre's got my back on that one. Says, I love the Mach 4 for easy days. There you go. Nice. Alvin Solano says, Cody, prefer surroundings fartleks or ones with some structure, e.g., 3-minute hard, 3-minute easy? I like the structured ones because I just then set it up on my watch. Because I feel like if I were like, all right, I'm gonna run to the next tree and then I'll recover for a little while and then I'll run to the next that garbage can over there. I feel like I end up making have to think about it too much, and also then the recoveries get a little bit longer than I want. And so I like to make sure that the recoveries are staying relatively like very controlled. I think that like how long the recoveries are as important as how long the on periods are. And so, yeah, if it's real short, I keep it even, like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 1 minute on, 1 minute off. Once I get to like 3 minutes, then I'm like, I don't want 3 minutes off. 3 minutes off is too much, I think. So then it might be 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1.5, something like that. So then I can just set it up in my watch and I'll just do it like, 2 miles warm up, 10 times, 3 minutes on, 1.5 off or 2 minutes off, and then a cool down. And so then I just wait for the beeps, and then you run and you stop on the beeps. And that's the way I prefer to do it. And Eric's doing the marathon, so awesome. So I'll see you there in a couple of weeks, Eric. Cool. Very cool. Excited. Jerry, probably someone say SL20. Do we need to bring that back as a sound? I'm not sure. We haven't had another like word that's as funny. There isn't anything else that has struck like that strikes me as like sound of the day worthy. I'm not sure. All right, Saragon McKinney, great question, says, Brooks Glycerin or Ghost for a gifted pair of daily shoe for someone new to running? I'd probably go with the Ghost. I think that's a little bit more accessible. And I think the one thing to think about if someone that's new to running, like I try to think of it like when I show shoes to my wife, because she's like really difficult to find a shoe that works for her. Which is kind of like, I mean, that's my new white whale. It's like, how come I can't find, I can recommend shoes for thousands of people, but I can't find one that my wife likes. But I think there might be some marital dynamics going on in that. But the thing is, sometimes when I show her a shoe, I'm like, check the shoe out, Triumph. It's great. Lots of cushion, but it doesn't look like a giant, like orthotic nurse's shoe or something like that. So like, you're going to like it. And she goes, that thing looks so chunky. She doesn't say it that way, but she kind of says it that way. That's what she means when she says it. And so I'm like, okay. You don't like the look of that one. So I would say like, that could go into how much a person likes the shoe. And if they're like, I feel like I look a little silly in the shoe. Like I wouldn't get like someone that's new to running, like the Tempo Next percent either, And so like I think that the Ghost like just looks like a regular kind of like shoe. It looks nice. And it's a really popular selling shoe. So I feel like, I think there's a lot of reasons for that aren't necessarily to deal with the shoe itself, but I also think that it wouldn't be consistently a high selling shoe if it weren't a decent shoe. And I don't love it myself, but a lot of people do. And so I think that's not a bad choice to intro to someone. I mean, I think it's a good choice. And I think it's a better choice than maybe the Glycerin. So, John Ritchie says, any thoughts on the 361 Flame? Good vibes. Yeah, I don't have any. I haven't, Richard Murray is the only one that I think a couple of people have made videos on it. Richard Murray has one. I haven't seen it yet, but I just, I think that it came out, they launched it at a weird time. And also at the same time, there was a lot of these like Chinese brands that I'd not heard of before that were making like these carbon plated shoes. And in my mind, they all kind of clumped together. And so I don't know. I haven't been that interested in it. I could be wrong. I could be sleeping on it for sure. But yeah. Drew Reed said, general question here. When you started again with running, did your significant other ask you to stop talking about running? How do I talk about this so I don't put her off to this? I think that, no, she never did. But I think that the way that you could do it is don't like talk your ear off about it. There's the meme that goes around that it's like, is it Leonardo DiCaprio, where it's like, that road over there, that's part of the something something course, and like that road over there, that's where I run all the time. Like I do that sometimes to her. I would do it a lot in Iowa, because we'd be driving like on this random back road, and she'd be like, how do you know this? I'm like, well, I run on this road all the time, I'm here every day. I mean, I think that stuff kind of stuff gets real boring and annoying to non-runners, so I would try to be aware of like what's really annoying to non-runners, but at the same time, like, don't shut her out, or shut him out for your significant other, in terms of like what you're interested in, because that excitement can be infectious, and then it could be something that you share together, or maybe it's not, and that either one is okay. So I think that, like, when you feel like you need to, like, just talk and talk and talk about running, this is the perfect spot for it. This is a safe space. But I think that, like, when certain things are just like really exciting, and it's something that it's exciting to you, so you want to share that with your significant other, then I think it's great to share. But if it's just like, I need to talk to someone about shoes for like 30 minutes, maybe bring that here, and then slowly invite your significant other into it, as if they become more interested, So that's kind of how I would think about it. Drew says, as far as the chunky shoes goes, you need to buy a chunky shoe and run in it so the chunky shoes don't look weird. Oh no, I mean, at the time I just finished running in the Triumph. I was like, I just ran 100 miles in mine. I love it. And she looked at it and she was like, no, I'm never going to run that. And Ken says, when you're doing interval or fartlek work, the recovery is what is more important than the speed work. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm very close to completely agreeing with you. I mean, like, I think both of them, I mean, a lot of times people are like, talk about how fast it is, and I'm like, that's all good. How long did you rest? And did you run or jog or shuffle your feet to rest, or did you stop? Like, those are, I think are important. Like, so yeah, I agree with the sentiment, Ken. JJ says, hey, Ko, at what point do you think people can comfortably make the jump from half marathon training to full marathon? The jumps from 5K and 10K and 10K to half marathon aren't as dramatic, so this is hard to gauge. I think that if you want to do it, do it. Like, for me, my first marathon was couch to marathon. I gave myself basically from Memorial Day to October, so like 5 months. It was a disaster. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. But I would say, like, I don't think it's wrong to have been running for a while, maybe you're doing 5Ks and 10Ks. And then, like, right around now, thinking if you've been running kind of somewhat consistently, you don't even have to be running all year round, but if you've been doing some 5Ks and 10Ks and putting in some miles, now saying, all right, it's May, I want to run a marathon in the fall, I think that's fine. Spend the summer working on that consistency, race a couple of half marathons, just work on running and running and running. Don't have to be too structured until you get later, 14 weeks out, 12 weeks out, that kind of thing. So I just think that the thing you have to think about is you have to, like, make sure that the expectations are realistic for it, right? If you want to go and have like a statement debut marathon, then run half marathons for a while and make sure you're like really mastering that distance and understanding, the physiology that goes into performing that kind of run well. But if you were like, I want to be able to run a marathon because it looks interesting, other people are doing it, some of my friends are doing it, I want to run it with them, I think that, like, as long as you're not couched to marathon, and even if you are, go for it. But again, make sure that the expectations are measured, so, like, there's going to be a lot of people that are like, man, you can't do that. When did you start running? A year ago? No, it takes at least 3 years. I don't usually like when people do that. I feel like it's weird. There are lots of weird ways that people like to gatekeep other people's running and just keep people out. And I feel like the hard and fast rules about it are one of those ways. Let's see what else we got. Daniel Sudo says 361 doesn't send out shoes to reviewers, in my humble opinion. I don't know if they're sending any to reviewers. Did Seth review it? Did the Believe in the Run guys review it? I don't know. Matthew Stewart says, I like the Ghost, but love the Ride 13, which I got after returning Triumph 18s was just too oppressive in the upper. What was up with that upper, right? I mean, I don't know. It wasn't wrong. It was, in ways, it was better than the 17, but like there was just something about the 18 that just seemed, it was rushed. I felt like it came out really fast. I don't know. Maybe like they ran out of stock on the 17 and they were like, well, instead of ordering more stock, let's just make the 18. And it didn't have, maybe it was just, didn't have the same magic. I don't know. I'm not sure what was going on with that. It had less padding, which I liked, but then it didn't feel more comfortable. I don't know. I thought it would be more comfortable. I think the 18 is one of those weird shoes where the longer it goes from the time that I ran in it, the less I like it. So I'm like trying to be aware of that. There seems to be this slide in my mind mentally. Usually it's the other way around. Usually the more time passes, the more I tend to like a shoe and remember it fondly. And nostalgia is as soft as midsole is what I like to say. But I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, the Triumph 18 was underwhelming, I think. Recycle on Wednesday says, Ghost was what I had partly because of price. It's not a big difference, but 150 feels too high for a newbie. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. I forgot that that one's a little bit more expensive. 150 is a lot, but if you're giving someone a gift, then it's like, I got you something nice. That way you can not have to make any compromises as you're starting out. So yeah. Patrick Funk says, Invincible or Nova Blast 2? I love running in the Nova Blast, and I'm looking for a comfy ride. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm going to be doing that video this week. Putting those two head to head. Probably that video will probably come out Wednesday, I think, maybe. Or, yeah, I think Wednesday. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm really not sure. I like them both a lot. I think those two are probably, I think 3 shoes that'll probably be in the top 5 for the year for daily trainers will be Nova Blast, 2, Invincible, and Mach 4. I don't know what the last 2 spots are going to go to, but that's kind of what I'm thinking because they're both just really good shoes. I'm not sure. Yeah, the Nova Blast is a comfy ride. Nova Blast 2 is a comfy ride. Invincible is also a comfy ride too. I haven't run in the Invincible probably in maybe 2 weeks now, though. So it's been a minute. And I ran in the Nova Blast 2 yesterday. Those are great. I'm not sure. I think the Nova Blast 2's upper is more comfortable. But I'll do the test this week. We'll have a video. Sorry, I just kind of burped into the microphone. I didn't mean to do that. Remy says, that's a gentle balance in terms of how much do you talk about about your running with your significant other. Remy says, generally I give my wife the broad strokes when she asks, but save all the details for runner friends and group chats. I think that's a good way to do it. It is a delicate balance because I feel like it can feel like you're giving talk that, I think, if you go on a little bit too much. But you also want to encourage the fact that they've want to know and are asking to be included in this new activity of yours that you enjoy. So I feel like you need to kind of honor that, and then don't take advantage of it. Louis says, my wife doesn't like waking up early for races, but once I ask her what time did I do and compliment her for helping me, she gets excited. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Yeah, and so it said it's positive reinforcement. Very cool. Awesome. Frank says about doing a marathon. If the goal is just finishing, if you're running 50K per week, you can finish a marathon. What's that in miles? 30 miles a week? I'd say yeah. I think that for my first marathon, that's probably right around where I was peaking. But I went from 0 a week to that. And so I was pretty beat up by the end of that process. Oh, Josh Greenberg says, just got 3rd in my 800 race a couple hours ago. Well, great job, Josh. Awesome. Great work. Very cool. I feel honored that like you just finished your race and now you're hanging out with us. Very cool. Glad to have you here. Remy says though, as long as we're talking about toning down the running talk, also try to tone down the cycling and swimming talk with runner friends. He says it's about balance. Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. Drew Reed says, I went from having total immobility in my left hip from an injury to 5K personal best on the treadmill to transitioning to pavement and starting over to aiming for a sub 90 half marathon. And it took 2 years. That's pretty fast. That's a great transition for total immobility in the left hip. Wow, that's great. You must have been very dedicated to all that. All right. Let's do one more. And then I got to go for today. Ted Ruth says, regarding outlet store shopping, I made my first out-of-town trip to look for physical purchases rather than online since the start of the pandemic. Whoa. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I haven't been inside a store. I mean, I've been in the grocery store. And then I was in the store that sells electric generators at one time when we had to try to find one for my brother-in-law. But anyway, he said rather than online, he went into a store looking for physical purchasing. Unfortunately, it was a complete waste of time. Oh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I feel like outlet store shopping, finding it requires like a different mindset, you know? And I'm sure that you went in with that and you understood that, but it's like, you got to be like, well, it might not be the color you wanted, but is a shoe. That's a really good deal. There we go. We did a lot of, I think, what was it? Not last summer, but the summer before that, we were up in the Wisconsin Dells and hit some of the outlets up there and did all of our kids' school shopping there. That was nice because you're like, you need a bunch of stuff. So let's just see what the outlets have. So that was nice. I was thinking that I still need to make a trip to some of the running stores. Let's get in there, support the local running stores. Yeah, now I can do that. Let's see. All right. And Frank asking the most important question to Josh. Did you make varsity? And he said he sure did. Awesome. I thought that you were running the mile for varsity. Yeah. And he said, yeah, but the mile on Monday is going to be the real close one. All right. Well, Monday, not tomorrow, but Monday, maybe we'll get an update Monday, or maybe Monday night, or maybe for Tuesday, we'll get an update. So we're waiting. We're all rooting for you, Josh. I mean, we love your friend too, but we're really rooting for you. So good luck. Good luck on that mile. You got some good momentum then going in. Came in third, solid finish. Getting ready, rest up, get ready to race again quickly. You're going to be in good shape. You're going to be in good shape. All right. That's going to be it for today, everybody. Tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk about some headbands that I've been running in to kind of take control of this pandemic here. So it'll be kind of be like the drinks video, I guess. I should have planned that out better. Not have 2 of those kinds of videos in a row, but oh well, that's how it goes sometimes. Talk about some headbands, wrangling some of this crazy hair. And then we'll do another live stream. Tomorrow is Sunday, so we'll do afternoon weekend live stream time, same as today, 3 p.m. Central Time. I'll put like the scheduling thing on YouTube, so you can catch it. So you can make sure and set a reminder if you guys want. But see you guys again tomorrow, hopefully. And in the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.